Hello again, Roberto. Thank you for your next batch of essays. Let's have a look at your letter first. So this is a letter to a friend, and you're working in a new company. So you have to explain why you resigned from your previous job, describe your new work, and tell him or her other updates regarding your life. Just a little bit of heads up for this type of letter. You probably realize that this is going to be an informal letter, as it says, write a letter to your friend. So let's see how you went about that. Hey Freddie, nice start, this should be very informal. I'm writing this letter to share with you some great news. Remember when I told you that I was pretty demotivated about my job and especially with the way my boss was treating me? So I followed your advice, C not S. What you wrote is the verb. You can advise someone, but you follow someone's advice. And updated my LinkedIn profile. You spell it differently. Have a look at the logo. At the full name of the company. So L is capitalized, and I in N would be capitalized as well. You really have to keep up with the actual spelling of the website name. 2 days after that, I received a call from Amazon, and after a very long recruitment process, they offered me a very nice position. Amazing. Besides, comma, the fact that it is Amazon, the company of our dreams, that pays way better, and the office is only 10 minutes. Please make sure that you write minutes, the full word, from my place. Impressive. Perfect paragraph. I would only suggest that you do this. I'm writing this letter to share with you some great news, right? So this would be the purpose. And then we go first paragraph about work, second paragraph about this and that. Okay, other than that, I really love this paragraph. This is perfection. Long story short, amazing use of idioms, amazing use of vocabulary, demotivated, recruitment process. So you have all the best features of the vocabulary, grammar, and question answer, like task achievement. Impressive. Long story short, I started in my new job a couple of weeks ago, and it has been way better than I expected. Haven't I seen way better before? Yes, I have. I have good memory. Don't use it again. It has been, I don't know, more than, I don't know, more than I have ever wanted. Was something so. Just make sure that you don't use the same idiom. The company has this flex space culture, okay, and a great working environment. Besides that, not besides that, beside that, beside, not besides. Since day one, my leader or team leader probably, set my goals for the year with me, or sat down and set my goals for the year with me. So I would put with me at the end, and we should keep track of it, and we will, not should, probably will. You're showing the futurity, right, of them, because you're speaking about goals on a weekly basis. Just the opposite of what I used to complain about in the other company. Yes, if you have an exclamation mark, which is absolutely perfect in a friendly, informal letter, just make sure it's motivated. I would say just the opposite of what I used to complain about the other company, comma. Can you imagine that? So if you're excited about something, you have to introduce that verbally too. Not least, also have other exciting news. Last but not least, you probably mean last but not least. You're trying to use the idiom, which means, here's my last piece of news, but it's not the least important one, right? So don't forget, last but not least. Just don't capitalize not. I also have other exciting news. Joanna and I met accidentally at the mall after many years, and we started talking. After going out 2 or 3 times, we decided to start dating. Wow, yay. Yay for you. She's great. We can talk for hours without noticing it. She's great, and I would put a linking word here. She's so great that we can talk for hours without even noticing it. Okay, so a couple of smoother linking words would be perfect in here. Well, as you can imagine, I'm super happy. It looks like my life has totally changed, I would say turned around, right? You have great idiomatic use, so keep up the good work. Show off all the beautiful idioms and phrasal verbs you have, because the informal letter is the place to do it, right? Has totally turned around since the last time we saw each other. Yes. And how about probably and how about you? What are the news? How's your job going? Miss you, man. Oh yes. See you at Frank's party. Okay. John. And that's it. Okay, yes. I would kind of advise against the four short sentences. Find a way to make them a bit longer, okay? And make sure you use prepositions properly. This is an absolutely lovely informal letter. Absolutely amazing. Very coherent, very clear. Just make sure you fix the grammar or vocabulary, whatever I outlined, whatever I have just mentioned. So, other than that, very, very, very impressive. Let's have a look at your essay now. Where's your essay? There we go. These days, more and more people are traveling domestically or internationally. There are clearly many benefits to it, but there are some who argue it has also some drawbacks. So, advantages and disadvantages of traveling. Let's go. Paragraphs for paragraphs, yes. People have been traveling much more today than in previous decades. Good vocabulary. This might be a result of many factors, such as more affordable plane tickets, increased connectivity around the globe, and easier access to information. Okay, if you say this, I expect this to be discussed further on in the essay, right? Because this is how introductions work. Okay, some believe that this is a positive development. However, others development semicolon. However, comma, others have some concerns about it. This essay will discuss both points of view as well as give some examples to prove the arguments. Okay, good. Perfect introduction. Just remember, if I see this, and I'm going to make it bold just for me to keep track of what's going on, I want to see this in your first body paragraph, right? Because this is the advantages, or this is the causes, right? On the one hand, there are many advantages of traveling. Maybe the main one is the possibility of expanding the traveler's worldview. Okay, expanding the traveler's worldview. Which one is it? A person that remains their whole life in the same place tends to believe that his or her reality is the absolute truth about the world, and thus has difficulty in thinking out of the box. Okay, you don't need to put out of the box in inverted commas. It's an existing idiom. We know what it means. It's absolutely legit here. Traveling opens the door to new cultures and novel ways to tackle the difficulties of life. Okay. For instance, someone from a developing country like Brazil traveling to a poor country in Africa faces a reality that might change his or her perspective about Brazilian issues and starts to be more grateful about simple daily blessings like rain. Well, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. Therefore, it is conclusively clear that getting to know new places may bring positive impacts to the tourist. I would say may impact the tourist positively. That will sound more natural. So, you say, be very careful what you're saying. In the introduction, you said that these are the causes. Okay, I expect you to kind of discuss them because you announced them. Here, on the other hand, you say advantages. If you had to discuss advantages and disadvantages, you also had to include them here. For example, some believe that this is a positive development as it changes people's minds about many life events or realia, and this means that you're going to be discussing that further on in the essay. You cannot just mm, put something in the introduction like this and then not discuss it. Okay. Then you say on the one hand there are many advantages of traveling. Maybe the main one is the possibility of it. There are many advantages of traveling. Name some, such as this, and that. Yet, maybe the main one is the possibility of expanding the traveler's worldview. You say many, name at least a few. All the rest is perfect. I really love the example. I am super impressed and moved about the simply simple things like rain. Like this is absolutely touching. Okay. On the other hand, those who people who are too often no people who travel too often, fix the grammar here, tend to disconnect from their local reality. The everyday routine might become boring and tasteless. Routine is boring by default, okay? We can say the everyday events might become boring and tasteless. But routine by definition is nothing fun, right? So that's about vocabulary use when compared to the excitement of discovering new places and cultures. As a result, these plural adventurers might not develop deep relationships with their peers or even avoid to get attached to anything that is local. What exactly do you mean? Like living there, getting a job, getting married? What exactly is meant there? For example, research from the University of Michigan showed that one of the main reasons for people not to engage in long-term volunteer work in their city of residency is the fear to lose their freedom to travel in their free time. Okay, now I get it. Thus, too, spelling, double O, much focus on traveling might be also detrimental when not handled wisely. Okay, I wouldn't use the word detrimental, it's a bit too harsh, but I would say too much focus on traveling might have its downsides when not handled wisely. Okay, I am convinced, quite good. To conclude, although there are clearly many benefits of traveling, care should be taken in order to use them to better live the everyday life. I wouldn't use live because live life, yes, this is a cliche, live the life or whatever, but try to be a bit more sophisticated, appropriately sophisticated, instead of rejecting the reality and believing that only what is far from home is good. Yes, I like this conclusion. This is a very somehow thoughtful, like very philosophic conclusion. Even though it's a one sentence conclusion, no big deal. It's complex grammar. So yes, your style is impressive. Your vocabulary use is impressive. Your developing of arguments is absolutely in place. I told you what I thought about the logic of introduction, creating a setup for the rest of the essay. Please mind my advice. I'm really happy that you have managed to improve your speed of writing based on my advice. Keep practicing because writing is a bit like running. The more it's like a sport activity. Writing is also a motor activity. It's thinking and then writing with your hand or typing physically. So you might want to write as much as possible to just physically improve the speed of your writing and the speed of looking over your text and identifying errors. Make this a contest with yourself. I'm a very competitive person. That's why I like outlining that. But with many people, becoming competitive with yourself, asking yourself, can I become even better? Can I become faster? Will improve their quality and speed of writing. So all the best of luck. I am sure that you can improve even more.